Chapter 5. The day of the Halloween exhibition arrives before I knew it. Like a witch's shadow, I awake to the call of the crows perched on the windmill and throw off the cover, then tug on my clothes so hurriedly that I put on my patchwork dress on backwards and my shoes on the wrong feet. Jack chuckles as he helps me straighten my dress. We're going to have a great day today, Sally. I can feel it in my bones. Kind, thoughtful Jack. I push myself up to tippy-toe to plant a kiss on the round curve of his bony cheek. He lets one spindly arm fall around my back, capturing my ragdoll chin between his other fingers, then draws me in for a long kiss. He tastes like clovers and autumn air, and I squeeze him firmly, never wanting to let go. In his arms, I feel sheltered against any storm that may come, as though with his stalwart bones at my side, I can accomplish anything, and yet there's a tiny wrinkle between us. Jack is already to barrel head first into all life has to offer. Adventure, new worlds, new holidays, whereas I take my time. Only sometimes it feels like Jack is rushing me along at his breakneck pace until the soles of my feet are as tattered from trying to keep up. When we finally do break apart, I gaze up into his raven hollows of his eyes. You really think today will go well? He stroked the seam of my right cheek with his bony thumb. Of course I do. You and Luna have toiled your fingers practically threadbare. I promise that everything about the exhibition will go off without a hitch. Despite his reassurance, a chill curls around my ankle, and I banish it with a stomp of my heel. Today, I don't want any ill omens. Today, everything has to be perfect. After all, if I'm not perfect in every role, then my crown might slip and everyone might realize that I'm secretly as much a mess as a kitten's ball of yarn. But aren't we all? Also, strap yourselves in. This is going to be a long chapter. Should have said that at the start, but I got a little carried away. Zero zooms around my waist before flying into the open window, then turns back with a yelp. I peer out the window in the distance. His pumpkin nose points as the early morning sun rises over the mist. A heart-shaped carriage led by two lotus white horses pulls up to the gates. I sputter. The ambassadors are arriving. I tumble into the bathroom to comb my fingers through my hair's night tangles. When I look at my reflection in the mirror, I notice tiny crests around my eyes and small mouth. It's easy enough to smooth them out with a bit of steam, and it's nothing strange for a ragdoll to wake up with sleep wrinkles over her fabric body, but it makes me worry. I look run down. I adjust my shoulders from my patchwork dress, pluck out a few loose fibers. Should I have worn my crown or royal gown, I want this occasion to feel friendly and warm, not too official, but now I'm not sure. The gates creak open outside. I'm the Pumpkin Queen, crown or no crown. I tell myself, straightening my shoulders, I can do this. I'll see you at town hall. I call out to Jack, who is fastening his bat bow tie while humming a wintry carol. Wintry carol. I have no idea why I kept trying to say wintry. As I skip down the spiring stairs and about out of breath, grinning as I rush to meet the arrival from Valentine's Town, the prancing horses draw to a stop, and then a woman in a sequenced ruby gown throws open the doors. She has dark walnut skin, curly hair that dusted with glitter, and red lipstick that exact same shade as her dress. She spots me and offers a dazzling smile. That's when three masked figures leap out from behind the well with shouts of boo that causes the horses to rear back. The carriage jolts, stirring up a dust cloud, and the woman barely keeps her balance as she examines Cupid's arrows. I pivot sharply towards the trio of troublemakers, lock, stock, and barrel. I fix my hand. Sorry, I lost my page there for a second. I fix my hand sternly on my hip. I fix my hand sternly on the points of my hips. That's no way to greet our guests. They're here to learn from us, not to be frightened straight to the grave. The three kids remove their trick-or-treat masks to reveal their faces that are every bit as ghostly as their disguises. Got her good, Shock giggled. She's practically fainted. Locke added, too bad she didn't. Right in the dirt. Beryl snickered. The children swirled lollipops in their mouths before darting away. Consternation pulls my lips taut. Those little scamps. What an unlucky start to the exhibition, or to my exhibition. Brushing the dust off my patchwork dress, I step forward to straighten the startled horses. Swiftly, my attention to our guests. I'm so sorry about that. The woman gives me a gracious smile that shows sugar white teeth. Do not apologize, Your Majesty. We have our own troublemakers in Valentine's Town. I assure you, our cherubs prick the wrong people with arrows and cause such lovesick mayhem. She offers me her gloved hand, which I give a solid shake. I'm not even gonna try this. A more, Buttercup? the leader of the Chocolatiers in Valentine's Town. What the actual duck? Okay, it's spelled A-more, but it's pronounced Amori. I have no idea what that means. I've never heard that before. Queen Ruby recently received your invitation and selected me as an ambassador for your exhibition. I'm deeply honored. As are we, I exclaim. How is my dear friend Ruby? Amori laughed, shaking her head. Already busy writing new sonnets for next year's holiday. She sends her regards to you and your husband. Oh, I suddenly erupt of sparks near the gate makes the both of us jump. Scorching words of lock, shock, and barrel prick on the tip of my tongue, but there's no sign of the trick-or-treaters. Instead, an open top car rolls at parade? Yeah, parade speed through the gate. Its shiny fenders are painted with red and white stripes on one side and blue and white stars on the other. The driver is nearly as tall and thin as Jack, with a red sequenced showman's coat and matching top hat. The car's trunk is popped open and hang on. And what? Accommodate a phonetic jumble of sizzling sparklers, smoking firecrackers, and cracking and popping Roman candles. Hello, ladies. The driver pulls up next to Amon Mori's carriage, then sweeps off his top hat with a flourish. I'm Tom Sparkler, 4th of July Town's explosive expert, and I've brought our own brand new skyrocket to celebrate the exposition. Should have got permission first, buddy. Just saying. The trouble that the over-enthusiastic 4th of July Town rivers caused by settling off fireworks in Dreamtown is still fresh in my mind, and my lips purse. We're so glad to have you here, Tom. Maybe we can save the fireworks for the end of the event. With a rumbling laugh, he leaps off of the car and slams the trunk closed. A wisp of blue-colored smoke wafts out of the keyhole. Wait a minute, that's not safe at all. Certainly, I'm looking forward to learning about Halloween from your demonstration today. Or our two holidays love to put on a good show after all. With a warm smile, I hold out my hand, precisely curious about Tom Sparkler's popping rockets. The residents of Halloween Town emerge from their crooked roof houses into the town square to meet our guests, the Vampire Brothers, who and awe over Amon Buttercup's pair of horses, but I've already given them strict orders not to bite any of our guests or their livestock. The undersea gal floats up from her den deep in the slime-filled well and flutters her unchained spiral eyelashes at Tom Sparkler. He offers her a lit sparkler from his inside of his jacket pocket, and she claps clasps her webbed hands in delight. Luna steps out of the haunted bed and breakfast in a fresh ironed pair of pajamas, her notebook and pen in hand. Yet she watches the crowd from a distance behind the curtain of her hair, as though nervous to join in. Luna, come over, I call. There's someone I want you to meet. Her eyes briefly light up as she tucks her yarn locks behind one ear as she pads over in her slippers. When I introduce her to a mom Buttercup, they drive into a conversation about the sleep industry. Oh, what the properties. Sleep-inducing properties of dark chocolate. I've never heard of dark chocolate doing that. Next to arrive in a sleigh from Christmas Town, carrying an elf named Pencil. The merry chuckling of the sleigh bells reminds me of the time Santa Claus made it snow over Halloween Town, and I can't help glance up at the sky in fond memories. Shortly after Tencel arrived comes the ambassador from Easter Town, Elder Rabbit. She rambles into the town square in a motorized wheelbarrow overflowing with paper, spring grass, and colorful painted eggs. Her spine is slumped from ages, and she wears plastered pink glasses on a candy-colored chin around her neck. She introduces herself as the current Easter Bunny's great-grandmother, Grand Bunny. As soon as I hear the flickering notes of flutes, I smile, knowing the St. Patrick's Day ambassador has arrived. He's a waist-high leprechaun in a handsome green suit with an impressive amber beard braided into a four-leaf clover pattern. The name is what? Yeah, that's Cattle Shamrock. Your name is Cattle, okay? He says, introducing himself as he bows to the witch sisters. Leaves flutter from St. Patrick's Day Town. Lead fluters from St. Patrick's Day Town. He pulls out his instrument with a flourish and plays a ditty that has the witch sisters kicking up their pointed heels. I can't help grinning when from the corner of my eye I spot Jack and Zero winding down the path from our house. Zero lifts one second. Splits around Jack's feet as his pumpkin nose lights up the swirling morning light mist. Jack looks as handsome as ever in his pinstripe suit and stretched bow tie. He greets Tencel from Christmas Town by name, then gives the elf a pumpkin-shaped candy cane to take back to Santa Claus, the jolly old man. Yeah, jolly old man has become quite fond of them. Grand Bunny steals his attention by fussing with his suit jacket wrinkled, tails as though Jack is her grandson too. She smooths out the jacket and waves a lecturing paw at him. Jack's eyes connect with mine across the crowd, and my heart blooms as wide as a sunflower. He lowers a wink. Yeah, he lowers a wink in my direction, and I return it with a giggle. Over the next few minutes, the town square is filled with chatter. Yeah, chatter punctuated by the clown with a tearaway face honking his horn as residents get to know our guests. The air is rich with the mingling scent of chocolate hearts, spent gunpowder, and fresh spring grass, which cannot smell good, all mixed together. I watch everything from a distance with my hands clasped in quiet joy. This is everything I hoped for: friendship, camaraderie, laughter, as I'm so touched by each holiday leader thoughtfulness in selecting their delegates, open-minded and ecstatic. This is the perfect group of individuals to come together to learn from, one another. I can't, I can't, I couldn't have, God damn, I couldn't have concocted a better mix myself. Luna, I'm sorry, what? Luna sidles over to me and opens her notebook with a sheep embroidered on the cover. She flips through the pages of Tindy? Heidi handwriting as she midnight yeah, taps a midnight blue pen against the point on her chin where the seam crosses. I see, according to my list, everyone is here except the delegate from Thanksgiving Town. I take the notebook slowly, flipping pages, nodding at her diligent organization. It's clear to see what an assistant she is to the Lullaby Library. If I can just encourage her to embrace her own talent and desire, she has the potential for great leadership. As hooves step sound on cobblestones, I glance up from the page and cry, and it looks like they've just arrived. A tribal woman in a buckskin dress. What? Tribal woman in a buckskin dress, singed by a woven belt, rides through the gate on the back of an elk. Ornaments of carved bone shells and painted dipped feathers dangle from the creature's enormous rack of antlers. She dismounts with a graceful leap and strides over to shake my hand. You must be Queen Sally. I'm... Okay, Google Translate says that's Wolverine. Lead gather. Oh god, I'm having a stroke again. Lead gatherer from my village. Pilgrim Pete told me how you saved the day with his pie baking mishap. It's an honor to be selected as an ambassador by Thanksgiving Town. Senate? Thanksgiving Town Council. My throat rumbles with a gentle laugh. It's a pleasure, Wooey. Yes, I'm so glad everything worked out with Pete and his pumpkin pies. as simple, divine. This is Luna Slumberly. She's a resident from Dreamtown who has been apprenticing under me. She's been especially essential to helping me set up the exhibition. Luna dips her head to hide behind her bangs as she shakes Louise's hand, but their greeting is interrupted when the mayor suddenly inserts himself between them, his pale face grimacing. "Sally," he wails. "Oh, Sally, I overslept. This is a disaster." Any good politician would have been the first to the yeah, been first to the gate as he sways his top sways on his teetering little feet. The spider who forms his tie rolled her many eyes. "You're right on time," I assure the mayor. "It's no trouble at all. Now that wooing is here from Thanksgiving Town, we can begin the exhibition. As long as everything is ready, Luna." Tapping her ragdoll chin, Luna consults the checklist in her book. Everything has a bold blue check mark next to it. Sending invitations, select speaker, hang welcome banner, prepare refreshments. Until she got to the mayor's welcome, she checks the box with her quill. "We're ready for you, Mayor." His head swivels to the grinning side as he climbs up the ladder to the top of his hearse, where he taps his megaphone's mouthpiece. "Attention, can I have everyone's attention, please?" Tussle the elf and Tom Sparkler are absorbed in the conversation about parades, formations, and the mayor's face briefly spins to his grimsome one until the Harlequin demon elbows them to be quiet. The mayor's cheerful face flips back. "Welcomed, honored holiday ambassadors. Halloween Town is thrilled to host the inaugural exhibition on behalf of all our realms. We're so grateful to our beloved Pumpkin Queen and her slumberous assistant Luna for organizing such an important event. I'd like to invite all of you to move into Halloween Town for the first demonstration." Inside, the crowd murmurs admiration. What? Admiration for the decorations Luna has strung up. Black velvet curtains and drawn over the stage and the aisles around the room. Perimeter, Luna has set up display tables of frightening masks. Table of frightening mask varieties, candy baskets, and a touch and feel station with tables of cobwebs, slime, wiggling round wiggling roly-poly maggots. As our guests wander among the display tables, Luna passes around spiderweb brownies and blood red watermelon punch. Satisfied that everything is going smoothly, I slip behind the curtains. Peeking backstage, I draw in a deep inhale and rehearse my speech. Welcome, established guests. I rehearse under my breath. Today marks a brand new relationship between Sally. Jack's head pops through the curtain gate. I believe we're ready to start when you are. He cocks his head at my nervous pacing, then plunges through the curtains and strides over to take my hands. Are you nervous? A little, I admit, but also excited. That's my brilliant wife. To the point, the points of his mouth tip up lovingly. Shall I get the curtain? I pause. I should rehearse my speech once more. As everyone finished their refreshments, did Luna remember to give the mayor the lighting cue? I hold down my thick, sticky lump in my throat, but Jack is already strutting to the wings. He tugs on the velvet cord to open the curtains, giving me a thumbs up before I can even answer. The mayor flips on the spotlight and aims it squarely at me. The bright light stings my eyes, and I stand stock still on stage, blinking until my vision clears. Sit down, everyone, Jack announces from the intercom backstage. The audience. Jolt. Sorry, I bit my tongue. The audience jostles to find their place on the wooden benches. Despite my nervousness, I'm happy to see my townspeople mingling with our visitors instead of each other, grouping in opposite sides of the room. The melted man moves his turtle aside to make room for Moni, and the corpse kid sits his son on his lap, so Grand Bunny has a place, though there's a scuffle when Cattle, Shamrock, and Barrel go for a same spot in the front row. Scram, Greenie. Barrel sneers. Front row is for visitors of our gang. Reserved for our gang. Yeah. I stifle a mortified gasp, but before I can intercede, the leprechaun puffs up his chest and says, I've seen golden coins bigger than you. Lean bite. In St. Patrick's Day town, children sit on the floor. We aren't in St. Patrick's town, Locke piped up in support of his friends. I cling inwardly like an invisible hand is twisting up my leaf restuffing, and I'm afraid that we're heading towards another misunderstanding until Shock grabs both her friends by the shirt collars and tugs them over the opposite bench, muttering for them to stop making a scene. A relief puff slap from my lips. Relief puff slips from my lips. Once everyone is settled, I paint back on a broad smile and extend my arms. Welcome, extinguished, esteemed guests. Today marks a grand new relationship between our realms, and my sincere hope is that over the course of the next year we can learn about one another's holidays, and in doing so form a tight woven community. Encouraging nods come from the crowd, which in turn gives me strength. I continue. I've seen our town and sampled. Yeah, you've seen our town and sampled our cuisine, and now I am pleased to present the Witch Sisters and their spellcraft demonstration. Let's give them a hand or two with a with a magician's flourish. I unspool the thread that secures my hand to my wrist, and my hand separates from my body and scaled like two plump spiders up to my arms, to my shoulders, where they clap together in the air. There's an audible, amused gasp from our visitors. I can't imagine that anyone in their towns regularly separate their limbs from their body. Magnificent, Tom Sparkler cries. Never seen anything like that before. Weaving, Wolvie agrees, grinning ear to ear. I signal from my hand to the finger walk back to my wrist, where I quickly secure them with the needle and thread. Please, my little trick was met with applause. Thank you, I say with a bow, and here are the Witch Sisters. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. I have fun editing that out in post. As I seed the stage, the sisters sashay out from the backstage in cobweb gowns. Luna wheels out a trolley behind them with a single red velvet cupcake in the scampering, then scampered back to her post in the left wing and flashes me a thumbs up. I mirror her gesture as the witches begin waving their wands while prancing around the stage. Magic, the tall sister pronounced with a flourish, should only be attempted by the trained dark arts professionals, so do not attempt this back in your own lands of cottontail bunnies or shamrocks. Today, my sister and I are going to transform this delicious but paltry cupcake into a feast. Though the witch sisters continue to prance and preen, prance and preen, I keep my eyes on Luna in the wings. She's doing an excellent job at the ready. If the witch sisters signal her, she's going to be more than ready to step up when it Dream turns town to host an exhibition, but I don't know. I blink away, proud tears dampening the corners of my eyes. When I was her age, locked away in Dr. Finkelstein's house, I wished openly every star at the night sky that I could join in the dancing reverie. I watched from my barred window the town's bands morosely music used to ride the wind to ruffle my hair, taunting me with its dour notes. You're alone, the music seemed to wail. You're alone, you're alone. Welcome to hell. If I have anything to say about it, Luna will never endure such hardships. I'm determined to do everything I can to make her make her life happy. Perfectly expandera, one sister cried, tapping the wand in a circle around the cupcake as a puff whipped cream scent and smoke rises from the truffle. The other sister wafts away the smoke to reveal that the single cupcake is now expanded into a scrumptious cake as large as the circle her sister traced in the air. My brows lift, impressed. This spell is new to me, and I flip through their scrawled pages of notes on the backstage table behind me. Contractura, I whisper, memorizing the spell's reversal before. Oh, the spell reversal because it never hurts to learn more magic. On stage, a giant lump of buttercream frosting drips onto the floor. Luna steps up with a rag and runs to clean it. The witches bow under the audience applause, flashing moss-covered teeth and twisting their cobwebbed hair until I sign for Luna to close the curtains and usher them off stage, where they cut the oversized cake and serve it to the audience. Thank you for that incredible demonstration, I say, stepping in front of the curtain. Next, we have another kind of trick, or should I say trick or treat. I tap my left leg, which is the signal for the mayor to release the bats that roast in Halloween town halls. God, I'm stupid. Town halls eaves. He wobbles as he swings a broom at them, and they take wing, each dropping a chocolate eye down to the audience below. The trick is meet with the trick is met with amused chuckle and a lot of as chocolate is popped into mouths. Once the applaud dies, I say, ambassadors, next I'll give you the Wolfman for a jump scare presentation. Our visitors mumble in nervous apprehension as the curtain opens over a spooky set filled with cardboard prop trees. A few of the ambassadors shift to try to spy behind the trees, although wondering when the Wolfman might jump out from behind one. As the second stretch the crowd's anxiously murmurs grew louder. In the next instant, the Wolfman pulls a sheet off his head and jumps from where he was disguised in the third row behind Amin Buttercup and Tom Sparkler with a ferocious snarl. The crowd, including our own town residents who were more than acquainted with the Wolfman's tactical jumps, Mercy, among Buttercup shrieks. The Wolfman gives a deep-throated chuckle, in essence of a successful jump scare, he explains, as he climbs onto the stage is to put your victims at ease to start. You want them to relax unsuspectingly, and then blam. He signs to Luna in the wings, who rattles a sheet of metal to produce the sound of a thunder. The crowd gasps again, or you scare them, he finishes with another roar. He present yeah. His presentation is met with nervous applause as half of the ambassadors are still peeking warily over their shoulders, afraid of another jump scare. Next up is Jack, and I lean against the backstage, rigging dreamily as I watch him stride up the stairs. Before we married, before we even first spoke, I used to imagine a future with him, carving pumpkins together, strolling arm in arm through the cornfields, reading each other's tea leaves, and now that there's no longer a daydream, I hold that beautiful future right here, right now in my palms. A kernel of uncertainty hardens in my insides. He's already making plans for us to set off on adventures as soon as Halloween is over. For Halloween has come and gone, but what about all the other responsibilities? The haunted bed and breakfast, the cafe, the ghosts and ghoul galleries? Gazette? Yeah, Ghosts and Ghouls Gazette. I've only just begun my responsibilities as Pumpkin Queen, and now I have the pressure of possibly becoming Greentown's governor on my shoulders too. If only there were a way to foresee what the future holds. What an event, Jack declared to the audience, throwing his long arms wide. I'm so proud of our Pumpkin Queen for gathering us here. When she asked me to do a presentation, I thought I might demonstrate pumpkin carving techniques or teach the steps to the Twilight Reverie? Twilight Reverie dance, or rehearse the storied history of Halloween Town. But she suggested I simply be myself, so here I am, simply Jack Skellington, the skeleton with 100 faces. He pops his neck into the corner of his mouth, then stretches his grimace to show his candy corn teeth. Then he contorts his eye sockets to a frightening grimace. It's followed by a sinister grin as wide as a headstone. With each new face, the crowd cheers as possible. Oh, it's impossible for me not to giggle behind behind my cloth hands, knowing that for all of his bone-chilling faces, his heart is already just as down soft as mine. Yeah, downy soft as mine. Thank you, Jack. I can't clap hard enough as Jack finishes his presentation as I join him on stage. The crowd gives him a standing ovation. The clown with the tearaway face honks his squeaky horn as Jack wraps an arm around me. I hold my back straight as a broomstick, smiling ear to ear. So far, the exhibition has been a grand success, just as I hoped. I'm confident that the ambassadors will return to their towns full of information about our holiday to share with their fellow citizens. I think it's safe to say there will be no more pumpkin pie mishaps in the near future. Grinning, I raise a hand to the air to silence the crowd. We have one final demonstration. Afterwards, we invite you all to join us in the town square for a serenade of melancholy delights with our own town's band. For entertainment, I was going to present this final session myself, but to my great pleasure, one of our own fellow representatives offered to help me. I thought it was the perfect way to show how seamlessly our towns could work together. With that, I give you Luna Slumberly from Dreamtown. I extend my hand toward the wing, where a wide-eyed Luna suddenly looks stricken. I'm worried her shyness will get the best of her, but before I can offer a word of encouragement, she takes a deep breath, her silken first bald tight, and then steps out on stage. I move to the side to let her take center stage. The crowd claps as she wheels over the wooden cart that holds my spellbook, opened to the sweet dream tonic, as well as the collection of jars and tins and mixing bowls. She'll take a moment to ensure everything is in order, then smooths her fabric hands down her checkered pajamas, and faces the audience. Her lips part for a second, but nothing comes out. I bite down on my own lip, thinking how anxious I would have been at her age, but up there alone. But recently, my big sisterly instincts to help, as she has to do this on her own. There are 3 rules to potion making, Luna explains to the crowd with a voice that only slightly wobbles, and I'm so proud that my leafy stuffing could burst through the seams. The first is to prepare your ingredients ahead of time. For the sweet dream tonic, I'll be using lavender extract, black sand moth wings, and licorice root. As she lists the ingredients, she picks up each labeled jar to show off to the audience, pre-measuring the essence to a successful concoction. As she moves to explain the second rule sealing one's intent with a spell, my attention snags on the last jar that's labeled licorice root. The herb's spicy sweet taste puts the sweets in sweet dreams, but that's not my usual earthen worn jar with the crack on its lid. Strange, why would Luna swap out one jar for another? The curious thought is swept away, however, as Luna calls for a volunteer from the audience. Lock, stock, and barrel shoot up their hands, and I cringe inwardly. Please, anyone but those troublemakers. Luna thoughtfully looks at the many raised hands and says, Amal, please join me on stage. Mari, please join me on stage. The chocolatier beams as she gracefully navigates around the hulking creature under the stairs to the aisles and skips to the stage. Now, Luna says as she drops several moth wings into a bowl and adds an ounce of lavender extract, followed by 2 pinches of black sand. The third rule of potion making is to visualize your desired outcome. Mari, I want you to think of the last sweet dream you had. Close your eyes. Imagine being back in that dream. Are you ready? Amari Buttercup prepared, practically bounced up and down as she squeezed her glittery eyelids closed. She nods eagerly. I'm ready. Good. I've charmed this licorice root with a spell that tickles your tongue to encourage sleep talk so you can describe the dream to everyone. Luna picks up the jar of licorice root, the final ingredient, and pops off the lid. She briefly fawns down at the content with a strange tilt of her head. She hesitates, her head swivels towards me. Yeah, her head swivels towards me in the stage wing. I give her a big thumbs up for encouragement, and it soothes the wrinkles in her fabric brow. Voila! She dumps the jar's contents into the bowl. A fine, chalky white powder. An electric jolt shoots through my head to my toes. That's wrong. The Kenthry root comes with a wiggle-like form, not powder. Luna and I practiced the spell dozens of times. I always with the right ingredients, so how did this mishap happen? A puff of black smoke bellows up from the mixture. It's so dark that it seems to eat up the light. Yeah, it seems to eat up the light from the flickering jack-o'-lanterns. Luna coughs and stabbles backwards, waving a hand to clear the air. Amal's eyes pop open at an at the acrid scent of burning smoke, and she clenches her heart-shaped diamond necklace. Oh heavens, she says, coughing. Is that supposed to happen? The black smoke bellows into the stage, spilling like a pool of water down the aisles. The townspeople jump to their feet amidst nervous exclamations, and I feel the room teetering on the edge of panic. I am just about to rush out the wings to help when a column of smoke begins to rise from the stage. It doubles over into a circle that spins faster and faster until it forms a rushing vortex at center stage. The loose pages of Luna's journal go flying into the vortex. The spiraling smoke sucks the flies buzzing around the displays, and even two of the bats. My long hair whips around my face, blinding me as I stagger forwards with arms outstretched. Everyone, please stay calm, I shout over the rush of air. Whatever went wrong, I can fix this. My words are lost as the townspeople and the ambassadors stumble over one another to get to the exit. My patchwork dress whips around my knees like a kitten pulling me towards the swirling vortex. My mind swirls. I fear I'll tumble over like an unsteady top with each step. It was a different recipe. Something is very wrong here. Have to fix it. Amal shrieks as her diamond necklace flies off her glittery dusted necklace, a dusted neck, and disappears straight into the vortex. She latches onto the left hand stage curtain like a life rope. I grab the right hand curtain and reach for Luna. Luna, take my hand. Luna's eyes grow as wide as the moon. Her yawn hair whipped around her face in a tangling mess. Her lips tremble as she rifles through the ingredient jar. She stutters, I don't know what I did wrong. Take my hand, I cry out, stretching as far as I can towards her. My hair has a mind of its own. The crimson strands writhe like Medusa serpents locked in the vortex of wind. The smoke snatches her ankles. Sally, it's useless. I can't reach her like this. Despite desperate, I break the stitchings on my right leg, separating it from my body. Clutching the stage curtain with one hand, I use the other to hold out my leg as far as I can. My toes pointed at the end of my detached legs, straining to reach her. Her cloth hands finally grasp my big toe as she wraps her fist around the ball of my foot, and I pull at my own severed leg, but my other hand slips. I loosen my grip on the curtain, and the violet fabric sliders right out of my grip. The swirling smoke catches me around the waist. It doesn't matter that Luna finally has a hold of my disembodied leg because we're both hurling towards the vortex. I can't keep my balance with only one leg, and I smack into Luna as we suck across the stage. As charcoal smoke swallowed me, the last thing I see is Jack barreling up the stage, his spiraling fingers reaching for me, his face contorted in a silent cry, but it's too late. Luna and I are pulled into the vortex. God, that took forever. That is the end of chapter 5. I'll be seeing you all in chapter 6. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.